A single throwaway line in Top Gun has a secret meaning most fans still don't get 39 years later, and it's brilliant. The original Top Gun was certainly a milestone movie, but Top Gun Maverick's 2022 release changed Hollywood forever. After the COVID-19 pandemic sent the entire industry into the dark ages, it seemed that it might never recover, as even potential blockbusters were struggling to draw a profit in theaters. Maverick was an outstanding exception, as the Tom Cruise-led thriller brought in nearly $1.5 billion on a $175 million budget. A sequel is reportedly in development, and it will continue the legacy of a movie that was originally hailed as Hollywood's savior. Though the box office has still been turbulent since its release, it did represent a major turning point in the industry's fortunes after the beginning of the pandemic. Its place in Hollywood history has certainly had an impact on the Top Gun franchise's legacy, but that was not the only element that distinguished it. The original movie, which was released in 1986, was also a profound success. Financially alone, it earned $357 million, $1 billion today, on a $15 million budget. $44 million today, and it also earned acclaim from critics and audiences. It was recognized with 4 nominations at the Academy Awards and even took home an Oscar. For all that the first movie in the franchise has been overshadowed by its successor, it stands well enough on its own merit. In fact, despite having been released 39 years ago, there are still many secrets hidden within each scene. Top Gun's accuracy sets it apart. The Top Gun movies are generally acclaimed because of their attention to detail, their diligent focus on accuracy, and their willingness to go above and beyond expectations. It certainly benefited from other factors, including Tom Cruise's stunning performance as Lieutenant Maverick, but that accuracy was always the distinguishing element. Both Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick relied on the United States Navy to provide access to planes, facilities, and even aircraft carriers. Given that the original movie had a $15 million budget, it would have been impossible to produce the film without those resources. After all, the U.S. Naval Institute reports that Maverick's F-14 Tomcat cost approximately $35 million alone. With multiple planes, it would have been an unbearable cost for any producer without the Navy's assistance. The cost was considerable, but the Navy certainly benefited from the arrangement. Receiving those resources meant sacrificing some creative freedom, as the military reserved the right to veto aspects of the script. That right ensured that the Navy could portray itself in a positive light, which helped to convince generations of viewers to commission as Navy pilots or to enlist within its ranks. Another report by the U.S. Naval Institute found that 24% of recruits believed that Top Gun had a strong influence on them. It also helped to bring greater attention to the real-world Top Gun Navy Fighter Weapons School program. That was a significant sacrifice, but it also meant that the movie would be incredibly accurate, even down to every detail in the vehicle that Maverick relies on most. Audiences had the opportunity to see real military fighter jets flown by trained pilots, even as the actors performed their own stunts. Any action movie director dreams of seeing a thrilling film that is filled with realistic maneuvers, and this was a movie that both promised and delivered on that. Because the first movie benefited from grounded realism in real-world military techniques, the producers of the sequel also partnered with the Navy and relied on similar support. Naturally, they also borrowed from more than just the military's financial resources. Top Gun borrowed lines from training videos. Most viewers of the Top Gun movies will never enlist or commission into the U.S. military. Even those who do will likely have nothing to do with the Top Gun program due to its strict admissions requirements. As much as audiences may love the gritty realism of the films, they will never understand many of the minute details that made them such brilliant movies. One small line was proof enough of that. After all, it had been 39 years since the movie was released, and few viewers even know that the movie borrowed a line from a real-world training program. In the scene, Commander Viper, Tom Skerritt, instructs the students about the Top Gun school and its policies. At the end of a lecture, he concludes his speech with the line, "Gentlemen, this school is about combat. There are no points for second place." Cruise's Maverick smiles at the thought shortly before Viper dismisses the pilots. It is easy to overlook the scene given that it appears to be nothing more than a one-off quip to entertain viewers. In reality, however, it was pulled out of a real-world training video, a 1974 instructional video aimed at teaching sailors about the tips and tricks for dogfighting is where the line actually originated. The video, Role of Fighter Aircraft 1974 Grumman F-14 Tomcat, is a 34-minute-long instructional lecture that very few potential viewers have ever had the chance to watch. Yet, shortly before its own ending, the narrator watches a plane fall from the sky before exclaiming, "Since there are no points for second place in air combat, the F-14 is, by design, a criteria-conscious combination of hardware and performance that allows us to match wits with any situation an enemy might create now or in the near future." It was a memorable part of the video, given that it leads into the final summary of everything that came before it. Instead of being a clever piece of writing by a Hollywood screenwriter, it was actually written for real pilots. There is a chance that it was just a coincidence. While the connection is far from tenuous, it is still possible that the line was simply written for a movie. After all, there are thousands of military training videos, and it is unreasonable for screenwriters to sit through them all. A 34-minute video about the F-14 Tomcat is hardly the most captivating footage, so it is difficult to imagine a writer sitting through it all. A line as simple as "there are no points for second place" could easily be created independently, though it would take away some of the allure of the line. Still, the video was directly about the same plane that Maverick favored. While a writer could struggle to watch all 34 minutes, a diligent researcher could still have elected to give up half an hour of their day or to at least watch the summary at the end of the footage. If the line truly was written twice, it would be an incredible coincidence given the subject matter. It is more than likely that Top Gun's brilliant "no points for second place" line was actually borrowed from a real Navy training video. Given that Top Gun Maverick also loved its callbacks, it remains entirely plausible. It is just further proof of the movie's strong ties to the United States Navy and its dedication to both realism and clever one-liners.